Hey guys, if you're wanting to go vegan or switch to a plant-based diet and you're actually wanting to be successful, then make sure you watch this video first. I'm gonna give you some amazing tips, including some really great app recommendations to help you with your transition. And at the end, I'll even give you a 7-day vegan challenge. Let's do this. Hey everyone, welcome back to Vegan Yak. I'm Walter, and if you're interested in veganism, or if you're looking for info about going vegan, staying vegan, or successfully talking to others about being vegan, then make sure you subscribe to my channel so you can keep up with all my future content. Now, what should you know before going vegan or transitioning to a plant-based diet? This is my How to Go Vegan for Beginners guide. So there's a lot to unpack here, but I'm gonna give you all of my tips that help me go vegan and stay vegan with ease. Let's start with tip number 1, which is do your research. And I think there's really 2 things here that you need to research, which is the reasons to be vegan and how to be healthy on a plant-based diet. Now, there's tons of reasons to be vegan or to live a vegan lifestyle, and there's a lot of benefits that can come along with it, like causing less harm to animals being the main one. But you can also lessen your environmental footprint, you can cause less harm to other human beings and less suffering there, and you can also have health benefits. All great things. But you should know the reasons why you're making this change, and you should do the research on them, not only so you know for yourself, but also so you can articulate it to others. And the reason that you need to be able to articulate these things to other people is because the second that you tell them that you're going vegan, they become an expert on everything. Well, hi there, I'm Arthur. I'm an accountant. Let me get you a card. Oh, an accountant, huh? Cool. I'm Walter, I'm a vegan activist. Oh, did you say vegan? Oh, check the other side of the card. Okay. Oh, you're also a dietitian, environmentalist, plant pain activist, animal rights and welfare expert, and a human rights activist? Now, you don't need to know any of this information in order to get into heated debates with your friends or anything like that. I want to stress that. You just need to be able to articulate the reasons for change. You have to keep in mind that you're doing something that society thinks is not normal, and you're going against the grain here. So they're going to question it. And it's like anything else. I mean, imagine if you had a 25-year career as a computer engineer, and then one day you quit and you just told everyone, I'm gonna be a professional Irish flute whistler. Well, then people are gonna question you. And that's okay. It's a natural human behavior to question change. So don't get defensive. That's another great tip, is just don't get defensive when somebody asks you why you're going vegan. Instead, know your reasons, be knowledgeable on the topic, and know why you're making the switch. Now, the other thing that you should research is how to be healthy on a plant-based diet. And if you're worried about if you can be healthy on a plant-based diet, I actually just made a video about this that you can check out here, and I'll also link it down below. But as with any diet, you should do the research so you know how to do it right, and that way you don't experience any health issues. Now, as far as your body goes, just in general, be prepared for changes. Now, many people experience a lot of great health benefits when they switch to a plant-based diet. For me, I certainly did. I switched overnight to a whole food plant-based diet, and I experienced pretty much nothing but health benefits. I lost 70 pounds, I gained a ton of energy, I lost my allergies, I slept better. I mean, the list goes on and on. It was really great. But that's not necessarily the same case for every single person. So make sure again that you do the research on how to do it right. And also, I think this largely depends on what kind of diet you're coming from. If you're coming from a bad standard American diet where you're only having one bowel movement per week, and then you switch over to a whole food plant-based diet where there's a ton of fiber, you're probably gonna experience some changes. Fart joke. So just be prepared and have realistic expectations. Now, one of my favorite resources is an app called The Daily Dozen by Dr. Greger. And it's a simple food checklist that will ensure that you're getting a wide variety of whole foods that are plants. And also, when you click into each one of the food groups, it will show you some of his videos that breaks down all of the research behind these food groups, why you should be eating them, and the health benefits behind them. Now, the other thing that you could download is something like Chronometer, which is a little bit more complex, but you log all of your food and then it will break down all of the nutrients from the day, and it will also show you like your calories to make sure that you're not missing anything essential. Now, both of these apps are completely free, and I'll link them down below. The last thing that I would recommend is to consult with a doctor or a dietitian, especially if you already have an underlying issue, like some major health issue, food allergies, gut issues, so that way you can still design a diet that is void of animal products, healthful for you, and that way you can do it the right way. Tip number 2, be prepared for the social circumstances. According to studies, the #1 reason that somebody doesn't stick to a plant-based diet or quits living a vegan lifestyle is not because their morals changed, and it's not because they experienced some sort of health issues. It's because they couldn't keep it up within their social surroundings. For many, it can be hard to stick to a vegan lifestyle if they're not surrounded by a supportive group. Maybe you're young and you live with your parents and you don't have that much control, and that can make it difficult. Or maybe you want to go vegan, but your spouse doesn't and they don't want to eat a plant-based diet. And so now you have a split household, and that could be hard. There's a lot of different situations that could put social pressure on you that could cause you to quit living a vegan lifestyle. So you need to plan for them in advance. Now, one of the main times that this social pressure can come up is when you're going out to eat with someone who's not a vegan. It can be totally awkward if you're sitting at the table, everybody else orders, it's really simple and fast, but you take 20 minutes and ask the waiter 100 questions to figure out what you can have. But don't worry, you can fix this. Now, the first suggestion would just be to recommend a vegan restaurant for all of your friends to go to, or at least a restaurant that has a lot of vegan labeled options. Now, the other thing that you can do is you can look at the menu in advance and try to figure out some options ahead of time. And if there are no vegan options labeled, you can also call the restaurant and figure out what they have. There's been plenty of times that there have been no labeled vegan options. I've called the restaurant and the chef has told me that they would prepare something for me. Not only has this made ordering really simple when I sit down, but every time that this has happened, I've had a special dish that everyone else was jealous of. Not only because it was a special dish that came off of the menu, but also because it's always been amazing. Now, another thing that you can do to find vegan options ahead of time is you can go on to Yelp, and in the review search bar of the restaurant that you're looking at, you can type vegan and you can see what others have said about vegan options in the past. I've found that to be really useful many times. You can also download an app like Happy Cow, which will tell you about vegan options nearby, or something like Vegan Express, which will tell you a lot about the vegan options at popular chains. As usual, check with your waiter when you get there as well, but I'll link both of those apps down below. Now, another time where the social pressure can be kind of difficult is when you're gathering for a celebration like a holiday or a birthday. You can always check with the host ahead of time to see if there's gonna be vegan options, or you can also just bring your own dish. My fiance Brianna and I almost always have at least snacks with us, like nuts or fruit or something, but many times we just bring our own dish. This is especially true for holidays when we know we're gonna be gathering with people that aren't vegan. Now, this is not only amazing for us because then we have food to eat, but also it's really great because we expose others to amazing dishes that don't have animals in them. I promise if you plan ahead and you make sure that you have options and you have your reasons for going vegan well articulated and ready to go, even if the group that you're with is not that supportive, it's gonna be much easier sticking to a vegan lifestyle. Tip number 3, and maybe this should have been tip number 1 because it's super important. Make amazing meals or buy amazing meals. Whatever, just eat amazing meals. I know too many people that have told me that they tried being vegan, but that they just couldn't stick to it because they don't like salads or vegetables. Being vegan is not about forcing yourself to eat something you hate. This is crazy important because if you go into this with the perception that vegans only eat vegetables or salads or tofu and you don't like those things, so you're gonna force yourself to do it because you think that's what being vegan's about, you are going to fail. As a tip for a starting point, just start with your favorite dishes and just try to find a vegan recipe for those. And as you're out shopping and you're trying different brands for different things and you find a vegan cheese or whatever, you take it home and you try it and you hate it, don't buy it again. There's so many different brands and so many different options nowadays, so just keep going until you find the brand that you love. But I promise, if you're eating amazing food that you love, and I'm not just talking about you like it, you think it's good, I'm talking you'd like sell your soul for it good, you will never feel like you are missing out on the things that you gave up. I eat amazing food. One of my favorite dishes is this Asian pasta dish that we do that's got this Thai peanut sauce and we put shishito peppers in it. It's got broccoli and it's spicy and now I'm hungry. The point here, and again, it's worth repeating because it's so important, is to make amazing food or buy amazing food. Just eat amazing food. As long as you're eating amazing food, you will never feel like you're sacrificing anything. And another bonus pro tip here is that when you're cooking, cook a lot extra. So that way you can share with others, but more importantly, so you can have leftovers. This can be especially helpful if you live in a house with others who are not vegan. Having tasty options available is half the battle. Don't put yourself in the spot where all you have left is animals in the fridge. I'm so hungry. What are you doing? Tip number 4, network with other vegans. Join your local vegan Facebook group, or go to a local vegan meetup, or go to a vegan festival. Just spend some time making friends with other vegans. Again, having a supportive social surrounding can be crucial to your success if you're trying to stick to a vegan lifestyle or a plant-based diet. So just go out there and make some new friends, you lonely In all seriousness though, I really only have a few close friends myself, and they transitioned to a vegan lifestyle after we did. So it's made things really easy. And if you're doing the same thing and hanging out with other vegans, it can make it easier for you too. And then when you have other non-vegan friends join you, instead of you being the lone vegan, a lot of the times, they're the lone meat eater, which in my experience has caused a lot of those people to try to change or at least try vegan dishes when we're together. Tip number 5, keep on going. You're doing something that's great, so just keep going. Celebrate the wins. And if you slip up, don't give up. It's okay, just get back to it. Many people quit something that they're trying to do because they've messed up one time or made one mistake. I mean, admit it, that's you and me. I might say I'm going to the gym every single day this week and I hit Monday, Tuesday, but once I've missed Wednesday, I'm like, streak's broken, it's over. But that's not how successful habits are formed. And you don't do that with other habits. Oh shoot, I forgot to brush my teeth yesterday. Won't be needing that anymore. So just keep going, you got this. Okay, so those are my top 5 tips, but I do have a bonus tip for you. And I actually talked about it in my last video, but it's worth repeating. If you're thinking about going vegan, but you're saying to yourself, well, I just can't give up this, or I'm not willing to give up that. Instead of looking at what you can't do, why don't you look at what you can do and start there? Now, on a moral side of things, if you're against animal suffering and you're currently contributing to it by not living a vegan lifestyle, you should quit cold turkey and you should go vegan. I hear people talk about things like meatless Mondays as a way of transitioning into it, but you wouldn't do that with any other moral circumstance. You wouldn't do that with murder. Say, well, I'm not gonna murder on Mondays, but Tuesday through Sunday, Jack the Ripper. So as far as the moral side goes, if you're against animal abuse and suffering, you should quit and you should go vegan. And that should be enough for you to quit cold turkey and to stick to it if that's your moral stance. But I also understand that not everyone is the same. And some people know that they'll do better if they transition through a certain type of regimen. So if that's you and every week you need to cut out one other food group until after the month or whatever it is, you're gonna be fully vegan, then do it. But if you're gonna do it that way, set the goal, set the timeline, and absolutely stick to it until you're living fully in alignment with your own morals. Okay, so there you have it. Those are the top 5 tips, 6 with the bonus, on how to go vegan for beginners. But I also want to challenge you on a 7-day vegan challenge. And really it's going to be a 7-day plant-based diet challenge. For 7 days, I want you to only eat plant-based options, no animal products whatsoever. Now, why 7 days? Studies have shown us that people really only cycle through the same 9 dishes over and over again. And we know that 7 of those are pretty much just pizza. So if you eat plant-based for the next 7 days, that's 21 dishes, which means you only have to like 43% of them to replace all of the dishes that you currently eat. And that can be a combination of making your own dishes and eating out. In fact, I encourage at least one meal to be eating out at a restaurant so you can find a vegan option outside of the home. If you accept the challenge, I would love for you to come back at the end of 7 days and comment below and let me know how it went for you. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like it and also subscribe to the channel. Hit the notification bell so you can keep up with my future content. Thanks for watching. We'll catch you next time. What are you doing?
I got hungry.